Bluey gives us laughter and life lessons, but it also leaves behind characters with questions no one ever dares to answer. 1. Brandy's husband, or donor. Brandy shows up in the sign with the biggest surprise of all. She is finally pregnant after years of heartbreak. But here is the strange part. There is no husband anywhere, no partner, no hint of a boyfriend, not even a blurry photo on the fridge. It makes you wonder, did she meet someone and keep it secret? Or was this a sperm donor situation? The show never says a word. It is like the baby appeared out of thin air, and Brandy just moved on with her life. Maybe Bluey's biggest mystery is hiding right in that stroller. 2. Cherry, Chippy's girlfriend. Cherry pops up in Bluey so rarely you might miss her if you blink. We first see her arguing with Chippy and Tradies, and then later spying on the horizon with him in the sign. That is all we get. No backstory, no friends, no clue what she even does all day. She seems to live in that awkward space between teen and adult, like someone wandering through life with no script. Maybe she is chasing love, or maybe she is just bored. Either way, Cherry feels like a character hiding a much bigger story off-screen. 3. Cornelius's mystery girlfriends. Cornelius is everywhere in Bluey, but somehow we never really know him. One episode he is dating someone new, the next he is eating hot dogs alone, and later he is handing money to strangers like some tragic romantic hero. None of his girlfriends stick around, and none even get a proper introduction. They just appear, smile, and vanish like extras in a soap opera. Did he break up with them? Did they run for the hills after one date? It feels like Cornelius lives in a whole separate drama off-screen, and we are only catching random highlights of it. 4. Frisky's brother. Frisky's wedding gives us one quick shot of her brother, and then he disappears like he was never there. No name, no lines, nothing. He just stands next to the bridesmaid like some mystery guest the cameras forgot to follow. Is he younger? Older? Living across the world? Secretly famous? We get zero answers. He could be a rock star or a guy who fixes lawnmowers, and we would not know. The show drops him in like a puzzle piece from the wrong box, then moves on as if he was never important. That silence makes him unforgettable. 5. Frisky's mystery bridesmaid. At Frisky's wedding, one bridesmaid stands right beside her like they have been friends forever, yet nobody says her name. No hint about who she is or where she comes from. Some people think she might be a sister, others guess a best friend. But here's another thought. Maybe Frisky is secretly playing matchmaker, setting her up with her own brother the way Bandit and Chilli once did for her and Rad. That would explain why the two keep standing together in the wedding shots. Love story in progress or total coincidence? The show refuses to tell us. 6. Winton's mom. Winton's mom is like a ghost in Bluey. We never see her, but we know she exists because of one odd clue. On Cornelius's car window, there used to be a family drawing with 3 figures: Winton, his dad, and what looked like his mom. At some point, her picture got wiped off. That tiny change says a lot without saying anything. Divorce? Big fight? Something worse? Nobody explains it. Now Cornelius shows up dating other women while Winton's mom stays invisible, like she drove out of town and never came back. Her whole story sits off-screen, silent and unfinished. 7. The busker priest. One moment he is playing music on the street for spare change, and the next he is marrying Frisky and Rad like it is the most normal thing in the world. How does someone go from busking outside the post office to performing sacred vows with a straight face? No training montage? No explanation? Nothing. Maybe he is a priest who quit the church to chase his guitar dreams. Maybe he is a musician who only marries people on weekends for fun. Either way, he walks through 2 completely different lives like it is Tuesday, and nobody ever questions it. 8. Marcus, Honey's dad. Marcus shows up so briefly, you could mistake him for someone's +1 who got lost on the way to the buffet. We see him in cricket, standing around and chatting like he belongs, but the show never tells us anything else. No job, no hobbies, no clue how he fits into Honey's life besides being her dad. He appears, smiles politely, then drifts out of the story like he was only visiting for the day. Maybe he is super busy, or maybe he is hiding a secret life we are not supposed to know about. Either way, he stays silent. 9. The internet salesman from Promises. This guy storms into Promises like he owns the whole street, waving discount flyers and talking faster than a race car. He tries to sell energy plans, internet bundles, maybe even a little bit of his soul, all while acting like everyone has been waiting for him. Then he disappears forever. No name, no second appearance, no clue where he came from or where he went. It feels like he belongs in another show and accidentally wandered into Bluey with a briefcase full of scams. Maybe he is a salesman, or maybe he is just chaos in a necktie. 10. Rusty's possible crush, Mia? In cricket, Rusty takes a hard hit, And right there on the edge of the field is Mia, watching closely. The camera lingers on her just long enough to make you wonder if something is going on. But here is the twist. Mia has also been linked with Captain in other episodes. So what is this? A secret triangle? A passing crush? Or just the animators having fun with us? The show never explains why she looks so concerned for Rusty. Maybe she likes him, maybe she doesn't. But that single glance keeps everyone guessing long after the credits roll. 11. Lila's dad. Lila's dad drifts through Bluey like a human Easter egg. He shows up in background shots at school, the park, even birthday parties, always smiling, always silent. He never speaks, never gets a storyline, never does anything except exist like some kind of suburban ghost. People joke he is living a double life, raising Lila by day while running secret spy missions at night. Maybe he is shy. Maybe he is too busy to talk. Or maybe he knows something the rest of us do not. Either way, he keeps turning up everywhere, like the universe keeps forgetting to cut him. 12. Wendy, Judo's mom. Wendy lives right next door, but she might as well be in another planet. While the other parents laugh and run around, she stays calm, almost cold, like she is carrying a secret no one can touch. She skips big events, keeps to herself, and never explains where Judo's dad is. It is like she built a wall around her life and only lets people see what she wants. Maybe she is too busy, maybe she has a secret job, or maybe her story is darker than we think. Either way, Wendy walks through Bluey like a locked door. 13. Bucky, Bandit's schoolmate. Bucky shows up in the sign, shaking hands like he and Bandit are best friends. But the history says otherwise. Back in school, he once made fun of Bandit's drawing so badly that Bandit stopped sketching for years. That is not just teasing, that is emotional damage with crayons. Now he sells houses and acts like nothing happened, smiling like an old buddy who never crushed a dream. Bandit does not look thrilled to see him either. Maybe Bucky forgot. Maybe he never cared. Either way, every friendly wave from him feels like someone hiding a past they do not discuss. 14. Miss Retriever, teacher with a side job. During the week, Miss Retriever teaches Bingo's class with the patience of a saint. But then we see her at the markets running a massage stall like it is the most normal thing in the world. No explanation, no comment from anyone. She just switches from spelling lessons to deep tissue massages like this is a double life she has been living for years. Does she need extra cash? Is massage her true passion? Or is she secretly running some underground relaxation empire? The show gives us nothing. Miss Retriever keeps smiling while hiding a weekend story we never hear. 15. Coco's 8 siblings. Coco's family must be huge because she has 8 siblings, yet the show treats them like background furniture. We see them once in an old baby photo, and then way off in the distance during Explorers. That is it. No names, no personalities, no clue how this family even survives breakfast with 9 kids in one house. Imagine the noise level, imagine the chaos. It could be reality TV gold, but Bluey skips it completely. Maybe the siblings are too wild for cameras, or maybe the parents just gave up trying to keep track of who lives there after number 6. 16. Snickers' mom. Snickers' mom drifts through stores like a woman on a mission, always alone, always silent. We never see Snickers with her. No cheerful shopping trips, no mother-son bonding over groceries. Just her, wandering the aisles like someone trying to solve life's problems between the cereal and the frozen peas. Maybe Snickers stays home because he hates errands. Maybe she likes the quiet. Or maybe she has a whole secret life that only happens between the shelves at Hammer Barn. The show never explains it, leaving her as this mysterious figure pushing a cart through the background, carrying untold stories with the groceries. 17. Chilli's mom. Chilli talks about her mom like someone holding on to memories that ended too soon. We know she passed away before Bluey was born, but that is all the show gives us. No flashbacks, no details, just an old photo of her riding a horse and a few quiet mentions. It feels like a whole chapter ripped out of the family's history. Did she love horses so much that they were part of her story? Was it an accident, an illness, something else entirely? The show leaves the answers off screen, making her one of the saddest and most mysterious absences in Bluey. 18. Rusty's mom. Rusty's dad, Jack, gets plenty of moments in Bluey, coaching cricket and teaching life lessons. But Rusty's mom is almost invisible. She slips into a few scenes, says nothing important, and fades right out again. No job details, no backstory, not even a proper conversation with Rusty that we can remember. It feels like she exists on the edge of the family photo, smiling politely before stepping out of frame. Maybe she works away from home. Maybe she is busy off-screen. Or maybe the show is keeping her life secret on purpose, like there is more to her than we know. 19. Judo's dad. Judo lives right next door to the Healers, yet her dad is a complete mystery. He never shows up at school events, birthdays, or even in the background while Judo is around. It is like the man does not exist. Some people think he lives far away. Others believe there was a messy divorce. Maybe he is traveling the world while Wendy raises Judo alone. The show never explains where he is or why he stays hidden. All we know is that Judo keeps popping up without him, leaving everyone wondering if her dad is ever coming back at all. 20. Indy's dad. Indy talks about her parents like everything is normal, but we have never seen her dad. In Moms and Dads, we hear he stays home while Indy's mom works, yet the show never lets us meet him. No voice, no flashback, nothing. It gets stranger when Indy's mom walks through the store with a co-worker who seems a little too friendly. Was that just a friend helping with groceries? Or is there more happening behind the scenes? The show leaves it wide open. Indy's dad stays completely off-screen, turning a regular family into one big unanswered question. 21. The Pegasus and Unicorn from Library. Bluey and Bingo find a book in library with a Pegasus and a unicorn that look way too familiar. Their colors, their big eyes, even the sparkly poses scream, My Little Pony. But the show never says a word. Are they real characters in the Bluey world? Or just a wink at parents watching? It feels like the animators slipped them in and then left the room laughing, waiting for someone to notice. The story inside the book is never told either, leaving the magical duo frozen on the page, full of secrets we will probably never get to read. 22. Floppy. Bingo's soft toy bunny, Floppy, is one of the most emotional characters in Bluey. In Sleepytime, Floppy goes from a piece of fluff to Bingo's co-pilot through a space adventure. She guides Bingo when she drifts away from the family bed, showing up like a living presence in her dream. Is Floppy truly alive, or is she just Bingo's imagination giving comfort? Either way, she becomes a symbol of love, safety, and growing up too fast. Out of all Bluey's mysteries, Floppy stands out because she's not just a toy. She's a silent hero stitched together with cotton and hugs. 23. Bosco, Frisky's toxic ex. Bosco never appears in Bluey, yet his shadow hangs over Frisky's story like storm clouds before a wedding. We only hear about him through Frisky's sharp comments, little clues dropped like breadcrumbs. She hints that he cheated, left suddenly, maybe even broke her heart so badly she avoided love for years. Then she meets Rad, and Bozo becomes the silent reason she hesitated before saying yes. Who was he really? Some charming drifter? A longtime boyfriend gone bad? The show keeps him off screen, making him feel larger than life, like the villain in a story we never got to see. 24. Calypso, the teacher. Calypso runs her class with this calm energy that feels almost unreal. Kids fight, cry, or lose toys, and she always knows exactly what to say, like she can read minds. In space, Mackenzie remembers being lost as a toddler, and somehow, Calypso shows up inside his memory to guide him. How does that even work? Is she magic? A dream? Some kind of guardian angel with a guitar in a classroom? The show never explains it. She just walks through every crisis like she has already seen the ending, leaving us wondering if Calypso is even fully human at all. 25. Terrier's dad, possibly homeless? One background scene shows Cornelius giving money to a scruffy-looking dog, and later in Ice Cream, the same guy digs through a trash can. That is all we ever see of him. No name, no explanation, nothing. People notice he looks a lot like the Terrier brothers, which makes everything even stranger. Is he their dad? Did something happen that left him living on the streets while his kids run around the playground? The show never clears it up. He just drifts through these tiny moments, a mystery wrapped in old clothes, leaving everyone guessing what really happened to him. That's it for Bluey's hidden lives and secret stories. But here's the big question. If the show revealed only one mystery next season, which one would you choose? Tell us in the comments and make sure you subscribe so you're here when it finally happens. You have watched Bluey 100 times, but these hidden details prove you missed way more than you think. 1. The mystery girl from Fairytale. In Fairytale, Bandit tells the girls about the day he was cursed into silence and saved by a mysterious girl. He swears it was Chilli. Chilli, not convinced.
Bandit hero. Is this your hat? Is that?
She admits her family vacationed there, but meeting a boy named Bandit? Nope. Not ringing any bells. And that's where things get suspicious. Either Bandit's memory is very selective, or he's doing what dads do best, editing the story for his kids. One popular theory says Bandit actually met Chilli's sister and mixed them up years later. Another theory? Way juicier. That girl was Bandit's first crush, maybe even his first love, and there was no way he was telling his daughters that story. So he swapped in Mum for safety. The truth? We may never know. But Chilli's raised eyebrow says everything. 2. The homeless terrier nobody talks about. In The Quiet Game, there's a background moment that quietly punches you in the feelings.
Oh, well, at least it's still nice and quiet. Hey, you kids want some ice cream?
As the healers walk down the street, a homeless dog sits on the sidewalk asking for spare change. He's not random. He looks exactly like the Terrier triplets. Same fur, same build, same tired expression. Fans quickly connected the dots. That might be their dad. And if that's true, suddenly a lot makes sense. He's never seen at school pickup, never mentioned at home. Meanwhile, the Terrier's mum is doing everything alone. The show never explains what happened. No dramatic flashback, no sad music. Just one silent moment and a lot of questions. How did his life fall apart? Why is he alone? Bluey doesn't spell it out, and somehow that makes it hit even harder. 3. Bluey's lost brother nobody names. This is one of the saddest mysteries in Bluey, and the show handles it gently.
We had a baby in her belly. Aww. It's me.
We learned that Chilli lost a puppy before Bluey was born. That makes Bluey the second child, not the first. But here's what the show never tells us. His name. Fans noticed a pattern. Bandit, Bluey, Bingo, all B names. That wasn't an accident. So chances are, the lost pup had a B name too.
On Stripe, Brad, Gerald, whatever your name is.
Some fans believe he was named after Bandit's dad, Bob. Maybe Bob Jr. Maybe just Bob. The show never confirms anything, and that silence feels intentional. Not every story needs to be spoken out loud. Some are just carried quietly. And somehow, that makes this mystery feel even more real and heartbreaking. 4. What was Bingo actually sick with? In Bumpy, Bingo is in the hospital and nobody explains why.
Okay, take a big breath in for me, Bingo.
The doctors say she needs to stay overnight for observation, which sounds serious. But then, nothing. The show moves on. Later, we learn Bingo can't eat gluten, while Bluey can. That tiny detail made fans spiral. Was her illness related? Is it something long-term? Or was it just a childhood scare that parents recognize all too well? Bluey refuses to dramatize it. There's no diagnosis, no medical explanation, no fear-mongering. Just a family getting through a hard night together. That mystery hits close to home because real life is like that. Sometimes you don't get answers. You just get better. And keep going. 5. Are fairies real in Bluey's world?
Believe they're back.
All right, this is a fairy. If you see one, whack it.
But they're invisible.
The episode, Fairies leaves fans arguing to this day. At the end, Bingo sees a fairy floating right there in the living room and she's wide awake. No dream sequence, no imagination montage, just Bingo staring straight at it. Bandit doesn't see anything, of course, which makes it even creepier. Normally, Bluey is very clear when something is pretend. Games are announced. Imaginary worlds fade when the episode ends. But this moment, it lingers. Bingo isn't playing. She isn't daydreaming. She's just seeing something. Is it proof that magic actually exists in Bluey's world? Or is this showing how kids perceive reality differently from adults? The show never answers. And that's what makes it unsettling in the best way.
Who knows again?
Bluey quietly asks, what if kids aren't imagining magic? What if adults just stopped seeing it? 6. Did Chilli secretly set up Rad and Frisky? Double babysitter looks innocent on the surface, until you really think about it. Uncle Rad just happens to be visiting. Frisky just happens to show up. Chilli just happens to forget to mention Rad would be there. Suspicious? Very.
Brad?
You bet.
Hooray! Not hooray.
Bluey isn't sure about babysitter put-down's Uncle Rad.
Rad is rarely home because he works on an oil rig, meaning his visits are planned far in advance. Frisky had just gone through a breakup and was clearly fragile. And suddenly, they're stuck together for an entire evening. Coincidence? Or quiet matchmaking? Chilli plays innocent the entire episode.
Torch Mouse was fun, but I don't want to do anything else that's different, please.
But everything lines up a little too perfectly. And judging by the fact that Rad and Frisky later get married, the plan, if it was one, worked beautifully. Chilli might just be the calmest, sneakiest Cupid in children's television history. 7. Who was Frisky's mysterious maid of honor? At Rad and Frisky's wedding, there's one detail that almost nobody noticed, and now nobody can stop thinking about it. Frisky has a maid of honor standing beside Chilli, and this character has never appeared before. No name, no dialogue, no backstory. Yet she's clearly important enough to stand at Frisky's side on her wedding day. She's the same breed as Frisky, which suggests a close family connection. Sister? Sister-in-law? Childhood? Best friend? The show gives us nothing. And that silence is strange, because Bluey usually loves explaining relationships. This feels intentional, like the writers are saving her for later, or letting fans fill in the gaps. Either way, it's wild that such a major life figure exists completely off-screen. 8. Why is Rusty's dad gone for so long? Rusty's dad being in the army is treated seriously and quietly. He's gone for long stretches.
One day, a letter came.
Mom, there's a letter from Dad.
Letters arrive instead of visits. Rusty pretends, but you can tell it weighs on him. What makes this mysterious is how intense it feels for a preschool show. Is he just stationed far away? Or is something more dangerous happening? Some fans even joke about a secret dog versus cat war, since we rarely see other species living normal lives. That's probably not literal, but the emotional weight is real.
Just keep your eye on the ball and take care of your little sister for me. Love, Dad.
Rusty carries himself like a kid who understands sacrifice way too early. Bluey never shows battles or danger. It doesn't need to. The absence alone tells the story. And somehow, that makes Rusty one of the bravest kids in the show. 9. Snickers almost never takes off his hat. Snickers has been one of Bluey's friends since forever.
Longer.
Why?
Because you're longer.
Aw, I hate being a sausage dog.
And if there's one thing that defines him, it's that yellow cap. It's basically part of his identity, so much so that the show makes a quiet point of never taking it off. In fact, across the entire series, we only see Snickers without his cap twice, and both moments actually mean something.
Welcome back to Canine News. I'm your news anchor, Snickers.
The first is in Explorers when he's rolling down the hill at school and the cap accidentally flies off his head. It's chaotic, unplanned, and very kid-like. The second time is in the Minnesota K9 News, where Snickers is pretending to be a news anchor. To look professional, he deliberately removes the cap. That choice matters. It shows Snickers understands social rules and presentation, even at his age. The show never points this out, but it turns a simple accessory into character storytelling. That hat isn't just fashion. It's comfort, confidence, and personality stitched into one bright yellow detail. 10. The Bluey intro is secretly a game. The Bluey intro feels chaotic at first. Music, dancing, sudden freezes, names being called. But once you realize what's happening, it all clicks. The Healer family isn't dancing randomly. They're playing musical statues. When the music plays, they dance. When it stops, they freeze. Whoever moves is out. That's why Bandit gets eliminated first, then Chilli, then Bingo, until Bluey wins. It's not just cute, it's structured. The intro follows the rules of a real kids' party game perfectly. And just like everything else in Bluey, no one explains it. The show trusts you to recognize it, or figure it out later on a rewatch. Once you see it, the intro becomes even funnier, because it's not a theme song anymore. It's the Healers playing a game before every single episode. 11. Bingo's fairy book connection. At the very start of the mini Bluey episode, something sneaky happens in the background. While Bandit is busy making snacks and the scene feels calm and ordinary, Bingo is sitting quietly with a book. Blink and you'll miss it.
Bluey, can you be as quiet as Bingo for a bit?
Pause at just the right moment though, and the secret pops out. Bingo isn't reading a random story, it's a fairy book. Even better, the fairy on the cover is a dog, complete with bright yellow wings. That's not an accident. This tiny detail directly connects back to the Fairies episode from Season 1. It suggests that fairies aren't just a one-off imagination moment, but part of a recurring thread in Bluey's world. The show doesn't announce it, it doesn't underline it, it just trusts viewers to notice. And that's what makes it fun. Bluey rewards curiosity. 12. The leopard bag Easter egg. In another mini Bluey moment,
Bluey, I can't find your library books and they're due back. Have you seen Schmurtle the Dirty Turtle?
No, I have not seen.
Chilli needs to return some library books. Nothing dramatic, just everyday life. But sitting quietly on a bench is a bag with an animal printed on it. A leopard. It flashes by so fast that most people never notice. But that leopard isn't random. It's a direct callback to the Onesies episode, where Bingo disguises herself as a leopard.
What's going on?
Hey, Brandy! How you...
Sneaking connections between episodes using background props instead of dialogue. It's almost like the animators are playing a game with the audience, daring you to spot it. What looks like a simple bag becomes a tiny piece of continuity. It's subtle, clever, and totally unnecessary, which is exactly why it's so satisfying when you catch it. 13. Long Dog's Sneakiest Disguises. Long Dog is one of Bluey's most legendary Easter eggs, but he doesn't always show up the way fans expect. Sometimes he's not even a toy. In Phones, Long Dog appears split across multiple drawings hanging on a clothesline. Almost like a puzzle. In Pavlova, he goes even further. He's disguised as green beans inside the fridge. Same shape, same silhouette. Totally unexpected place. The animators clearly enjoy messing with viewers who think they've mastered spotting him.
Mom, I can't find my love. Okay.
And make sure you pay for it.
Okay,
It turns every rewatch into a scavenger hunt. You start scanning shelves, fridges, walls, and random objects, just in case Long Dog is hiding there. He's not just an Easter egg anymore. He's a running joke between the show and its fans. And somehow, he keeps getting harder to find. 14. The Forrest Gump moment you probably missed. Bluey doesn't just reference other episodes, it sneaks in movie tributes too. In Pirates, when the girls are pretending to face danger on their boat, there's a moment that feels oddly familiar.
Suddenly, the huge whale swallowed their boat whole.
Bluey stands at the end of the net and challenges whatever's coming at her. For adults watching, it clicks instantly. It's a playful nod to Lieutenant Dan yelling at the storm in Forrest Gump. Kids see bravery. Parents see a classic movie reference hiding in plain sight. The show never winks at the camera or explains it. It just lets the moment exist. That's part of Bluey's charm. It layers meaning so everyone gets something different. It's proof that Bluey isn't just made for kids. It's quietly entertaining the grown-ups too. 15. The hidden reason Brandy can't have puppies. Brandy's story already hits hard, but there's a quiet layer underneath it that makes everything even heavier once you notice it. Brandy and Chilli are red healers, and here's the real-world twist. That breed is known to struggle with fertility issues.
Mom. It's happening again.
Oh no. What?
Bluey never explains this out loud. There's no lesson, no big emotional speech, but once you know it, suddenly everything clicks. Chilli mentions her own miscarriage. Brandy avoids family gatherings. She looks happy for her sister, but there's always that ache just beneath the surface. These moments stop feeling like random sadness and start feeling intentional. It's as if the writers gently folded real biology into the story without ever spelling it out.
I tried to warn you.
We had to see if you were okay.
Thanks. Appreciated.
Bluey hides one of its darkest truths behind warm colors, soft music, and quiet pauses. It trusts the audience to connect the dots, and when you do, Brandy's silence says more than words ever could. So yeah, this went from wholesome cartoon to full-blown mystery real fast. Are the Bluey writers absolute geniuses, or are we just pausing way too much? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe so we can keep spotting the secrets they don't explain. Bluey might seem like just a simple kids show, but hidden beneath the fun are secrets most fans have never noticed. Chilli's mom is one of Bluey's biggest mysteries. The show never says what happened to her, but there are clues hidden in the episodes. And when you put them together, the truth might be more heartbreaking than you think. Let's call Chilli's mom Kate, just to make things easier. From what we see in the flashbacks, Kate passed away when Chilli was very young. In the episode Dragon, Chilli remembers her mom from when she was just a pup. The name Dragon might not be random. It could be a hidden clue. Some believe it symbolizes something strong but destructive, like a serious illness. Cancer maybe. If that's the case, Kate might have been sick for a long time before she passed. Chilli's dad, Mort, was in the military, which means he was probably away a lot. That could mean young Chilli had to grow up fast, taking care of herself while her mom was unwell. And if Kate had cancer, there's a chance Chilli saw her struggle with it, which could explain why she worries so much about her dad now. But here's where things get even sadder. If Chilli's childhood was like this, it makes sense why she doesn't remember the first time she met Bandit. Maybe she had too much on her mind. Maybe she was just trying to get through each day. And maybe that's why Bluey never tells us what really happened. Because some things are too painful to say out loud. One of the saddest mysteries in Bluey is about the older sibling who was never born. It's clear from the episodes The Show and Onesies that Chilli lost her first pup before having Bluey and Bingo. That's why they're called rainbow babies. But here's the question. What would their older brother's name have been? There are some clues hidden in the show. The Healer family seems to follow a pattern when it comes to names. Grandpa Bob, Bandit, Bluey, and Bingo all start with B. Uncle Stripe and Uncle Rad don't follow this, but Chilli clearly liked keeping the tradition. That means the lost pup's name likely started with B too. Now, here's where it gets even more interesting. Bluey's name isn't just a cute play on her breed. The letter Y at the end makes it sound smaller, almost like a nickname. What if that was intentional? What if Bluey's original name was meant to be just Blue? Think about it. Chilli and Bandit might have already picked the name for their first pup. They could have even bought things with the letter B on them, expecting him to arrive. But when tragedy struck, they never got to use that name. Then Bluey was born. Instead of picking something completely different, they might have added the Y to honor the pup they lost. Maybe that's why Bluey carries the name she does. A quiet reminder of the sibling she never met. A part of the family story that Bluey never fully explains. Mackenzie's mom didn't always look the way she does now. In the early episodes, she had a single spot on one side of her face, but in later seasons, spots appeared on both sides. So what happened? Some might think she dyed her fur, just like how people change their hair color. That's possible, but there's another explanation that makes even more sense. Since Bluey captures real-life issues, vitiligo could be the reason. One part of her fur is brown, and the other is white, with brown growing over time, just like how vitiligo affects skin in the real world. If that's true, then Bluey quietly added a real condition into the show, but they never talk about it. Maybe they don't want you to know. In the episode Double Babysitter, there's a small detail that most fans might not notice. A rugby ball stuck on the Healer family's roof. It appears in the scene where everyone is saying goodbye to Bandit and Chilli. But here's the weird part. It's not Bandit's usual rugby ball. His ball has green and yellow stripes, while this one is just a plain orange rugby ball. So, where did it come from? One theory is that Bandit had an old rugby ball before getting his new one, and ended up losing both in the same way. But that seems unlikely, right? Well, there's one more clue hiding in another episode, Mum School. When Bluey and Chilli are chatting outside, we can actually see where Bandit's ball went. It's sitting right on Lucky's family's roof. Looks like Bandit has a habit of launching balls onto rooftops. In the episode Double Babysitter, Bluey refuses to go to bed unless her parents are the ones tucking her in. At first, it just seems like she's being stubborn. But then we find out why. Her fear comes from something that happened with Nana Chris. According to Bluey, she got scared because her Nana was watching something on TV. Whatever it was, it must have really shaken her. And since Bluey is a family show, we don't see what is on the screen. But if it was bad enough to give Bluey nightmares, it was probably something creepy. Maybe it was a horror movie, but not just any horror movie, one that played on her worst fears. We've seen Bluey struggle with being alone in the dark before. Could Nana Chris have been watching something about a shadowy figure lurking in a forest? Or maybe something worse, like a lost child trying to find their way home? Bluey never tells us exactly what she saw, and neither does Nana Chris. It's almost like they don't want to talk about it, but the fear stuck with Bluey. It changed the way she sees bedtime. It made her afraid of sleeping without her parents close by. And the strangest part? We never find out what was on that TV screen. Maybe it's better that way, because if it was enough to scare Bluey that badly, imagine what it could do to us. Uncle Rad looks like a normal healer until you notice his fur. He isn't just red like Chilli or blue like Bandit, he's both, half red, half blue. But here's the thing, both Grandpa Bob and Grandma Chris are blue healers, and genetically, two blue healers almost never have a red pup. So how did Rad end up like this? Since Bluey focuses on real life, the most logical answer comes down to recessive genes. Even though Rad's parents are blue healers, they could still carry the red gene without showing it. If both passed that hidden red gene down to Rad, it could explain why his fur is a mix of both colors. It's rare, but not impossible. But what if Rad has a different parent? Maybe there was another red healer in the picture at some point. It would explain why Rad's fur is split between both colors. It might also explain why Grandpa Bob is never around. If something happened in the past, maybe it caused a divide in the family. Maynard is one of those Bluey characters who doesn't appear much, but when he does, it's clear he's been around for a long time. He's close to Grandpa Mort, familiar with Bluey and Bingo, and seems like part of the family. But here's the weird part. Why was he at Frisky and Uncle Rad's wedding? Most of the guests were either family or close friends. Maynard doesn't seem to fit into either category. But what if he's more connected than we think? One possibility is that he's actually an old friend of Frisky. We know Frisky and Chilli have been close for years, probably since childhood. And we also know Chilli grew up around the same area where Maynard hangs out with Mort. It wouldn't be surprising if Maynard had known both of them for years. Maybe he was like an uncle figure to Frisky when she was younger. If that's the case, it makes sense for him to be there on her big day. But there's another theory. Maynard runs a gas station. Uncle Rad works on an oil rig. Could they have met through work? Maybe some fuel and oil-related event brought them together, and they became friends. It's a long shot, but whatever the reason, one thing's clear. Maynard isn't just some random guy. He has ties to the Healer family, and those connections might go deeper than we realize. In the episode Dance Mode, the Healer family turns the sidewalk into their own personal stage. We see Chilli grooving past Wendy's car, Bandit getting into the rhythm, and Bluey showing off her best moves. But if you look closely, something strange happens in the background. Pat, ever the friendly neighbor, tells Bluey she's got some serious dance skills. But the second he speaks, Wendy's face changes, like she just heard something ridiculous. It's quick, but it's there, and it raises a big question. Why does Wendy look so annoyed? Maybe she secretly liked Bandit, and seeing him so happy with Chilli stings? Or maybe there's some unspoken neighborhood drama we don't know about. Could be jealousy too, watching the healers laugh and dance while she sits in her car alone. Whatever the reason, Wendy's reaction speaks volumes. And if Bluey has taught us anything, it's that even the smallest details might hold a bigger story. Bandit always has a clever way with words, but when he calls Bluey and Bingo salad dodgers, it's not just some random joke. That phrase has a deeper meaning, one that ties all the way back to the very first time Bluey was ever shown on screen. In the original pilot episode, Bandit played a game called Salad Dodgers, which was all about getting kids to eat their veggies in a fun way. The pilot wasn't exactly like the Bluey we know today, but little details from it still sneak into the show every now and then. And those are just some of the details Bluey keeps tucked away. Who knows what else is hiding in plain sight? Bluey's animation is top-notch, but every now and then, something sneaks past the animators. Blink and you'll miss it. Like in the episode Cricket, Rusty is showing off his incredible skills, taking down every adult who dares to challenge him. Meanwhile, the moms are hanging out by the barbecue, chatting and preparing snacks. Everything looks normal until Chilli calls the group over. For a split second, something weird happens. Chloe's mom is sitting with her back to Chilli, just relaxing like everyone else. But look closely at the legs under her chair. Those aren't chair legs, they're her legs, but they're not where they're supposed to be. Somehow, they're sticking out from the middle of the chair as if she's fused with it. It's such a strange mistake that once you notice it, you can't stop seeing it. Either Chloe's mom has mastered the art of folding herself in half without anyone noticing, or something seriously glitched in the animation. Dalmatians may be flexible, but this is next level. In the episode The Claw, Bandit has a small but bizarre moment that doesn't quite add up. While playing with the kids, he accidentally knocks his right leg on the table and winces in pain. But then, when he reaches down, he grabs his left leg instead. Hold on, wasn't it the other one that got hurt? It's a blink and you miss it mistake. But things get even stranger at dinner. His right knee is bandaged, proving that was the real injury all along. So why did he mix them up? Was the pain so bad that he just grabbed the first leg he could reach? In the episode Dance Mode, the Healer family is back at embarrassing themselves in public like it's a sport. Bluey, Bingo, and Chilli are all dancing without music, and Bandit, as usual, can't help but make fun of them. But Chilli reminds him that his turn is coming. Sure enough, when they stop at a store, Chilli sees the perfect chance to strike. Just as Bandit is mid-conversation with the cashier, she activates Dance Mode. And that's when something very strange happens. Not with Bandit, but with someone in the background. Take a look at the tall dog standing behind them. When Chilli triggers Dance Mode, he reacts, looking startled. That part makes sense, but watch his hand. He's holding an envelope, until suddenly, he's not. It completely disappears disappears, floats for a split second, and then reappears as if nothing happened. It looks like the envelope has a mind of its own. Maybe it wanted to dance too, or maybe the animators just missed a frame. In the episode Spy Game, something bizarre happens that makes Bandit seem faster than the speed of light. 1 second, he's inside the bathroom, patiently waiting for Bingo to finish. Next, he's outside by the barbecue, flipping sausages like he's been there the whole time. And before you can even process it, he's suddenly back inside, helping Bingo wash her hands. Either Bandit has mastered teleportation, or the animators accidentally placed him in 2 places at once. But that's not the only strange moment. Later on, when the barbecue catches fire, Mackenzie's dad casually walks right through the flames like it's nothing. Not only that, but the fire itself seems to shift positions, suddenly moving behind him instead of staying at the grill. Did the flames decide to relocate? Or did the animators scramble to fix the scene at the last second? In the episode Asparagus, Bandit is on a mission to teach Bluey some table manners, but she's not making it easy. She's talking with her mouth full, putting her elbows on the table, and doing everything except eating properly. Instead of scolding, Chilli comes up with a game. She tells Bluey that the asparagus she doesn't want to eat is actually magic. With just a point of the asparagus, Bluey can turn anyone into an animal of her choice. And that's when things get wild. Bandit, Bingo, and Chilli throw themselves into their new animal roles like they're in a full-blown theater production. Chilli, in particular, takes things to another level. She doesn't just play along. At one point, she even goes after Lucky's dad, proving that when it comes to imagination, she's just as intense as Bandit. But in the middle of all this craziness, there's an animation mistake that's nearly impossible to catch. It happens when Bandit, Bingo, and Chilli are turned into peacocks. Bandit, feeling fancy, starts showing off in front of Peacock Chilli. He spins around dramatically, but something weird happens. For a split second, a dark patch appears on his belly, even though it's actually supposed to be on his back. It pops up out of nowhere and then vanishes just as quickly. If you weren't watching closely, you'd never notice. But once you do, it's impossible to ignore. It's almost like Bandit's colors glitched for a second, as if the animators mixed up his markings. Most animation errors are about things disappearing or clipping through objects, but this is like Bandit's fur pattern got confused for a second. In the episode Tickle Crabs, chaos takes over the healer house as Bandit tries to escape Bluey and Bingo's relentless attack. He runs into the kitchen, grabbing anything within reach to fight back, but that's when something strange happens. As Bandit swipes past a bunch of grapes, he throws an orange to slow them down, then another. But the second orange, it vanishes into thin air. No bounce, no roll, just gone. 1 second it's flying through the air, the next it's like it never existed. Did the animators forget to finish the scene? Or did that orange have somewhere better to be? In the episode Burger Shop, Bandit is on a mission to teach Bluey and Bingo about responsibility. The plan? Running their own pretend burger shop. The problem? The girls are way more interested in splashing around in the bathtub than actually running their business. Every time Bandit tries to get things back on track, they come up with another excuse to keep playing. Before he knows it, even he's in the tub, completely giving up on his own lesson. That's when Chilli takes one look at the mess and is not happy. She tells them all that enough is enough and she's going to fix this right now. Bandit, trying to explain himself, moves toward her, and that's when the mistake happens. Look closely at his head. Normally, he has 2 dark patches around his ears, like any good blue healer, but for a fraction of a second, one of them vanishes. Just like that, half of his markings disappear, making his face look completely off. Maybe Bandit was so shocked by Chilli's reaction that even his fur pattern panicked. Whatever the case, it's a weird mistake in a scene that's already hilarious on its own. In the episode Dirt, Bluey and Bingo are having the time of their lives in a big pile of mud, but their neighbor, Judo, has a problem. She's a fluffy white chow chow, and her mom just spent the whole morning making sure her fur is perfectly clean. That means no dirt, no mud, nothing messy at all. Judo tries to join in, but it's tricky. Bluey and Bingo even try covering her in protective gear to keep her clean. But let's be real, what's the point of playing in mud if you can't get muddy? Judo eventually gives up, and her mom notices how sad she looks. That's when she walks over to comfort her. And right there, in that split second when she turns to sit down, something weird happens. Her tail clips right through the wooden step. It just disappears into the stairs like a glitch in a video game. If you blink, you'll miss it, but once you see it, you can't unsee it. It's a tiny mistake, but it stands out because Bluey is usually so smooth with its animation. Characters move naturally, and everything feels just right. But here, her tail breaks the rules of the world for a second. It's not the biggest mistake, but it's definitely one of those things you wouldn't expect from a show that pays so much attention to detail. In the episode Fairies, Bandit's attempt to make up for being rude to Bingo turns into pure chaos. Thanks to a mischievous fairy, Bingo gets frozen in place, stuck with her fingers on her nose, and the only way to break the spell, Bandit has to perform an Irish dance right in the middle of the yard for all the neighbors to see. So he does it. He kicks, spins, and gives it his all, while Bingo slowly removes her fingers from her nose, finally free from the curse. But if you slow things down, you'll catch an animation mistake that happens in the blink of an eye. First, as Bandit picks up Bingo and starts twirling her around, the dark fur around his eye suddenly glitches, turning into a lighter stripe for just a split second. Then, right when he finishes spinning her, his nose does something even weirder. It clips straight through Bingo's head, like a glitch in a video game. In the episode Bob Bilby, there's an animation mistake that sneaks right past most viewers. When the family is in the car, the girls are watching something on a tablet in the back seat. Chilli takes a picture using the front camera, but somehow the flash from the rear camera goes off instead. This might not be the only mistake. Later, when Bingo is riding her bike, we get a close-up shot of her face. And here's where things go wrong. Her usual darker fur around her eyes? Completely gone. It's like someone forgot to include that detail in this one frame. For a second, she looks totally different, almost like a Bingo lookalike instead of the real one. In the episode Magic Xylophone, Bluey and Bingo have a blast freezing Bandit in the middle of the garden, stacking toys and stuffed animals all over him. When they finally unfreeze him, he shakes them off and the ground is completely covered in plushies. But then something strange happens. A little while later, Bluey and Bandit come back to the same spot, but all the toys? Gone. Not a single stuffed animal was left behind. It's like they vanished into thin air. Knowing Bluey and Bingo, there's no way they suddenly decided to clean up that fast. And even if they did, when did they have the time? Either those toys cleaned themselves up or the animators forgot to put them back. If these tiny mistakes made it in, imagine what else could be hiding in plain sight. Over the years, the creators have carefully dropped clues about a family member we've never seen. A brother Bluey and Bingo never met. And the first hint comes in an episode called Unicorse. The Healer family is looking through old photos, and one stands out, a picture of Chilli enjoying her honeymoon in front of Sydney Harbour Bridge. It looks like just another vacation snapshot at first, but take a closer look at Chilli's appearance. Her figure looks different. There's a noticeable roundness to her belly, something that suggests she was expecting long before Bluey or Bingo came along. What's even more interesting is that this photo was taken years before Bluey was born, because the timing doesn't match up with either Bluey's or Bingo's birth, which hints at something much deeper in the story. This wasn't just a simple trip. They were about to welcome a child. If you look closely at the wedding photos, you'll notice something else. Bandit's fur looks different. In the wedding photos, he has the signature tufts of fur on his cheeks, signs of youth and vitality. But by the time Bluey comes along, those tufts are much thinner. This wasn't an accident. It's a deliberate choice by the creators to show the passage of time. And then there's Chilli. Her coat changes too. This clearly shows how much time has passed since the loss of their first baby before they conceived Bluey. Her coat becomes fuller, and in certain photos, her face reflects a sadness, a distant look. Fans have speculated that these are signs of a loss the healers experienced, something that they've never spoken about directly, but is there in the background of their lives. When we see Chilli and Bandit in those early days, their lives are filled with hope. But as time passes, it's clear that something tragic happened before Bluey and Bingo arrived. These clues, though subtle, speak to a deeper layer of the healer family's story, one of heartache, resilience, and the unspoken bond they share. The most powerful clue about the healer family's hidden story comes in an episode that, at first glance, seems like a simple Mother's Day celebration, but what unfolds is one of the most emotional moments in the entire series. The episode, The Show, starts off lighthearted. Bluey and Bingo decide to put on a homemade show for Mother's Day, reenacting their parents' love story. They bounce around excitedly, acting out the moments of how Bandit and Chilli met at a party in London, their backpacking adventure, and Bandit's heartfelt proposal. They end with the joyful memory of their wedding day. The atmosphere is filled with joy and innocence, just like any playful family moment in Bluey. But then, something changes. In the middle of their act, Bluey and Bingo introduce a scene where Chilli is shown with a baby in her belly. Just as they do, the balloon they're using suddenly pops. That's when things take a sudden, unexpected turn. The camera focuses on Bandit and Chilli's faces, and we can see it. Something shifts. The joy fades for just a moment, replaced by a subtle, yet undeniable wait. Bandit reaches out and takes Chilli's hand in a silent gesture that speaks volumes. It's brief, but it shows us something about their unspoken bond and shared experience that we hadn't fully understood before. This moment, while fleeting, reveals a deeper layer of the Healer family's past. It's not just a random occurrence. The balloon pop acts as a trigger, reminding them of a painful memory they carry quietly, a loss that they haven't fully come to terms with. In future episodes, the impact of this moment echoes throughout. We see Chilli's eyes grow distant at times, her emotions slipping through during ordinary moments. Bandit, too, shows a quieter side, his usual playful nature replaced by brief moments of reflection. In the episode Baby Race, we see Chilli surrounded by other new mothers and their babies, all of them comparing milestones. The focus is on Chilli, and it's clear she's carrying more than just the weight of parenting. Chilli, like many mothers who have experienced pregnancy loss, carries an invisible burden. Even though it's never her fault, there's an overwhelming sense of guilt that follows, especially when she sees other mothers celebrating their baby's milestones. In this episode, that guilt plays out when Chilli becomes fixated on Bluey's development. She's worried that Bluey isn't meeting milestones the way she's supposed to, and this self-imposed pressure starts to mirror the emotions Chilli might have felt during the loss of her first child. As Chilli begins to doubt herself and question whether she's doing enough for Bluey, it highlights the deep, emotional impact of her past experience. It's more than just about baby milestones. It's a reflection of unresolved pain and an attempt to measure up to what's expected, all while navigating the grief of a past loss. But then, in the episode Rain, we witness a moment that stands out in the entire series, a stunning double rainbow. This rare sight happens just after Bluey and Chilli work together to get through a storm. At first, it may seem like just a beautiful ending to a stormy day, but when you look deeper, it carries a much more powerful message. The concept of a rainbow baby is key here. It's a term used for a child born after a family has faced loss. Much like how a rainbow appears after the storm clears, these children symbolize hope, healing, and the joy that follows a dark period. When Chilli stands with her arm around Bluey under that double rainbow, it's more than just a sweet mother-daughter moment. The rainbow doesn't just mark the end of the storm, but also symbolizes their strength and the new chapter they've entered together. One where healing is possible and love continues to grow. Now, the episode Sleepytime might seem like a charming dream sequence about Bingo's cosmic adventure through space, but there's so much more beneath the surface. The whole episode works as a space-themed metaphor. Chilli is shown as the sun, the center of her children's world, giving them life and warmth. Bluey travels from Venus, the second planet from the sun, while Bingo's journey takes place on Earth, the third planet. But what's most interesting is what's missing. Mercury, the closest planet to the sun, doesn't appear at all. This isn't an accident. The absence of Mercury is a hint about the Healer family's first child, the one they lost before Bluey and Bingo. The most emotional moment of the episode comes when Chilli says,
"I'll always be here for you, even if you can't see me, because I love you."
On the surface, it seems like a comforting message for Bingo in her dream, but it's a message from Chilli to all her children, including the one who didn't make it. It's a promise of love that goes beyond the physical world and time, showing how the family's love remains even in the face of loss. In Season 3, Bluey finally got her own room, marking a big milestone in her life. While moving things around, Chilli discovered an old crib, and in that moment, we saw a rare glimpse of her emotions. As she stared at the crib, Chilli said, "It was your first bed," and it seemed like a simple, nostalgic memory. But some fans noticed something more hidden beneath the surface. The way Chilli reacted wasn't just about remembering Bluey's baby days. Seeing that crib again likely stirred up those unspoken feelings, making Bluey's new chapter bittersweet for her. If Bluey really is a rainbow baby, this scene becomes much more meaningful. It's not just about Bluey growing up. It's about Chilli remembering a part of her past that she hasn't openly talked about, a part of her that shaped their family's journey in ways they may never fully express. Understanding the hidden history behind the Healer family changes how we see their journey. What seemed like simple character moments at first now hold a much deeper meaning. Things like Chilli gazing at her daughters with teary eyes, or Bandit's occasional silence aren't just random emotions. They offer us a glimpse into the minds of two parents who have faced loss and joy in equal measure. Take Chilli's protective nature, for example. In episodes like Bike, where she struggles to let Bluey fail, it might seem like typical parenting at first. But when you look at it through the lens of their past, you see that it goes deeper. Chilli hesitating to let Bluey face challenges on her own is about more than just concern. It's about protecting her from pain and failure, rooted in her own fears. When she finally steps back and allows Bluey to grow through those struggles, it isn't just about being a parent. It's about overcoming her own emotional barriers and trusting that her family can move forward despite the hardships. Then there's Bandit. His dedication to being there for his daughters, no matter how tired or dirty from work, takes on a whole new meaning. His involvement in their lives isn't just about having fun or playing games. It's about cherishing every moment. He knows how easily time can slip away, and he's determined to make the most of each second with his children. His commitment to family time comes from a place of wisdom and appreciation that comes from understanding life's fleeting nature. But the episode The Show gives another powerful insight into how the healers have coped with their experience. When Bingo repeats Chilli's words,
Cry, check, pick myself up, check, dust myself off, check, and keep going. The show must go on.
it's not just some casual advice, it's a reflection of the strength they've built as a family. That phrase carries the weight of everything they've gone through. It's how they've learned to face life's difficulties with grace and resilience. It's a reminder that while the healers have had to endure pain, they've used those tough moments to teach their children how to stay strong in the face of adversity. As the series continues, we see moments where Chilli is unexpectedly emotional, even crying at times. Bandit too gets lost in thought or stares off into space, sometimes without an explanation. But with an understanding of their past, these emotional pauses suddenly make sense. They're not just random moments, they're reflections of a family that's processing grief and finding healing together. Each emotional moment builds the story of how the healers navigate life, constantly teaching us about love, resilience, and the importance of being present with those we care about. And that's a look at the powerful lessons from Bluey's family. It all starts with the episode Camping. Bluey meets John Luke, a kind and adventurous French pup. They don't speak the same language, but that doesn't matter. They plant trees together, they build stick houses, they chase wild animals through the trees. It's the kind of friendship feels like it will last forever, but forever doesn't come. One morning, Bluey wakes up and Jean-Luc is gone. No goodbye, no explanation, just gone. She doesn't understand and asks her mom why this happened. Her mom, with that soft, knowing voice, tells her,
Sometimes special people come into our lives, stay for a bit, and then they have to go.
first, it's just about friendship, just about change. But looking back, those words feel heavier because this moment isn't just about losing a friend. It's about something much bigger. Bluey's mom is teaching her and even dropping a hint for us. That's something that stays long after the episode ends. People leave, even Bluey, sometimes without warning, sometimes forever. This is the first time Bluey experiences loss. A small one, yes, but one that plants a seed. Because one day, Bluey will face a goodbye she can't come back from. One day, Bluey herself won't be here. Even in the episode, the dump, Bluey, Bingo, and Dad head out for what seems like a normal trip. But in the middle of tossing out some old boxes, something unexpected happens. A single sheet of paper slips from Dad's hands, fluttering down among the trash. Bluey picks it up and freezes. It's a drawing of herself. Her voice is quiet when she asks,
You're throwing away Bluey.
Dad, caught off guard, quickly shakes his head.
Any drawings you throw in this dump get mushed up and turned into new paper.
But to Bluey, feels different. Seeing her own image lying there, tossed aside with the scraps, makes her stomach twist. It isn't just a picture, it's her. And now, she's in the trash. Dad explains that the paper isn't disappearing. It will be turned into something new. It's not lost, it's changing. He says it so simply, like it's just about recycling. But the way Bluey stares at the paper says otherwise. It means more. To some, this moment feels like something bigger, like Bluey is realizing, maybe for the first time, that nothing stays forever. The idea of being thrown away, of becoming something else, is more than just a lesson in repurposing. It's a quiet echo of something deeper, of life, of endings, of what comes next. Does change mean disappearing? If something stops being what it was, is it really gone? After all, it was about loss itself, fear of being forgotten, fear of not being here anymore. Some see this as a quiet foreshadowing of Bluey's own fate, a moment that suggests in the gentlest way possible that nothing lasts forever, that even she will one day be part of the cycle. But instead of leaving her with sadness, Dad offers a different way to see it. Nothing is ever truly gone. It just changes, like the paper in the recycling bin, like memories that never fade, even when the people do. This leads us to the episode where everything makes sense. In the episode, Flat Pack, Bandit and Chilli struggle with instructions, trying to put together their porch swing. Bluey and Bingo, meanwhile, use the leftover boxes to create their own world. First, it's just simple play, but as they build, their game becomes something deeper. It starts to look a lot like life itself. First, they crawl like tiny creatures. Then, they learn to walk. Soon, they build homes, families, and entire cities. What starts as a pile of boxes turns into an entire civilization. Time moves fast. Life moves forward. Everything grows, changes, and evolves. Bandit and Chilli's story runs alongside theirs. They are building too, not just furniture, but a life. The episode moves between both worlds, showing how everything follows the same pattern. Parents build, children grow, and one day, those children move on. But then, something shifts. Bluey, now playing the role of a mother, watches over Bingo, her child. She teaches, guides, and protects, just like her own parents do for her. But before long, Bingo is ready to leave.
Look, Mom, I built a spaceship to go and explore space.
Bluey smiles, but there's something different in her voice.
Oh, you're always such a clever thing.
It's a phrase we've heard Chilli say before. Phrase full of love.
Bye, Mom. Thanks for looking after me.
And just like that, Bluey is alone. She sits quietly, holding her cardboard cane. The world she built is empty now. Everything she made, everything she nurtured, it's all moving forward without her. That's when she looks up to hear a voice from above. It's Chilli.
Hey! Up here.
But something about him feels different. She isn't just her mom anymore. She and Bandit stand above, watching, waiting. She takes a step forward. The world around her starts to fade. The cardboard, the game, the past, it all drifts away. The only thing left is light, soft, warm, endless light. And then, a hand reaches out. Not Bandit's, not Chilli's, something else, something greater. The hand lifts her, guides her, takes her beyond. And then, peace. The scene changes. Bluey, Bandit and Chilli sit together on the finished porch swing. The sky glows golden. The wind is soft. The world is quiet. They sit there side by side, looking out at something endless.
This is heaven.
This is not their home. This is something more. Some believe this moment is a quiet hint, a gentle way of showing what happens next, that Bluey's journey, like all journeys, must one day come to an end. But endings are not the end. She is not lost. She is not alone. She has simply gone home. And in that home, there is no fear, no sadness, no goodbye, just love, just eternity. But don't form conclusions just now. The lesson in the episode Flat Pack goes beyond just life and death. It carries something even greater, the reassurance that no matter what happens, nothing is ever truly lost. At first, it seems like a simple metaphor for growing up. Bluey plays through the stages of life, from crawling to walking, to building, to creating her own family. She guides Bingo, just as her parents guided her. And then, when the time comes, she lets go. That alone is already a powerful message about the passage of time. But the real weight of the episode is in what happens after. When Bluey, now older, stands alone, the game shifts. The cardboard world she built fades into the background, and suddenly, she isn't playing anymore. She is going somewhere. Chilli's hand, reaching down, is more than just a parent helping a child. It mirrors something deeper, something almost spiritual. It's a moment that resembles moving beyond life itself, taking that final step into the unknown. But there's no fear in Bluey's face, only trust. This moment suggests something many people wonder about. What happens when we leave this world? Is it truly an end, or is it just a new beginning? If the episode Camping taught us that relationships leave lasting marks, and the episode The Dump showed that nothing is wasted, the episode Flat Pack ties it all together. Everything changes, but nothing disappears. People we love, the moments we cherish, don't just vanish. They become something else. Bluey doesn't walk alone. Bandit and Chilli, who started as parents in the background, now feel like something greater, guiding forces, watching over her journey. They are always there, always leading her forward. The episode suggests that even when someone is gone, they are never truly absent. They continue to shape us, to guide us, to be part of us. In this way, the episode doesn't just explore the idea of life after death, it shows the comfort in it, the way love lasts beyond time, the way every step we take is connected to something greater. If the episode ended here, it would feel heartbreaking, but it doesn't. Instead, we are left with something else. Hope. Bluey stepping into the light isn't just about an ending, it's about a transformation. The same way the paper in the episode The Dump gets turned into something new, or the same way Jean-Luc's friendship with Bluey still means something even after he leaves. It's a reminder that nothing is final. Even though we grow, change, and move forward, everything we've built, everything we've loved, continues in some form. Flatpack isn't just about the sadness of saying goodbye. It's about the beauty of knowing that nothing and no one is ever truly gone. So, what's your opinion? Was this just a playful adventure or something much bigger? Either way, it left us with a lesson we won't forget. See you in the next video. Bluey is the show that teaches kids to share, play, and apparently question reality. Bandit and the mysterious ashtray moment. At the garden fair in the episode, Granny's, Bandit pauses to examine something strange, an ashtray. It's sitting there like no big deal, but wait, why would a dog need an ashtray? Nobody smokes in Bluey's world. So, what's Bandit doing? Just checking out forgotten junk? Or does this little object tell us more? Maybe it's a leftover from a past life, before dogs had jobs, houses, and toothbrushes. Maybe someone in the Healer family used to sneak a puff. Or maybe, just maybe, this sweet cartoon world isn't as squeaky clean as we thought. Whatever it means, it's weird. And Bandit's face says he remembers something. Bandit might be hiding a double life. Bandit's job as an archaeologist seems innocent enough until you really look at his office. There's a floating bone in a glass dome, a tribal mask, a samurai sword, and even a sculpture that looks like it came straight from Easter Island. No regular dad has this stuff just lying around. It feels less like a family office and more like a secret museum of cursed objects. Knowing that the show's creator based Bandit's job on his real-life archaeologist brother just adds to the mystery. Maybe Bandit isn't just digging up old bones. Maybe he's seen dangerous things. His calm dad vibe might just be a cover for something much bigger. A penguin sneaks past Disney's radar. In the episode Mini Bluey, there's a quick shot of Bingo's messy room that reveals something strange. Sitting on top of a book pile is a stuffed penguin wearing a crown and holding a wand. If that sounds familiar, it should. It looks almost exactly like Gunter, the crown-wearing penguin from Adventure Time. But here's the twist. Bluey is a Disney property, while Adventure Time belongs to Cartoon Network. So how did this sneaky tribute make it in? Was it an animator's bold move, or just a clever Easter egg that no one expected to get caught? Either way, someone slid this reference past the mouse, and that's honestly impressive. Long Dog was hiding in the beans. In the episode Pavlova, something strange shows up inside the healer's fridge. Next to the container of green beans, there's an odd little shape that doesn't quite belong. Look closer, and you'll realize it's Long Dog, the hidden Easter egg that usually pops up as a toy or background object. But this time, it's green. And it's sitting in food. Whether it's meant to be an actual bean or just pretending to be one, it raises a lot of questions. Why is Long Dog suddenly edible? Did the animators run out of hiding spots? Or were they trying to mess with your head? Either way, dinner just got a little weirder. The goldfish that breaks the universe. In the official Bluey video game, there's a detail in the Healer house that changes everything. On the top floor, quietly sitting by itself, is a fish tank, and inside it, a tiny goldfish swimming like it's just part of normal life. But hold on, this is a world where dogs are the people. They drive cars, go to work, and pay bills. So what does it mean if they're also keeping pets? That goldfish turns the whole logic of the show upside down. Is it a pet, a roommate, or some lower class in the dog society? The show never explains it, and honestly, maybe that's for the best. The missing unicorns at the party. In Past the Parcel, Muffin's birthday party is all about unicorns. The decorations, the balloons, and even the party invite show 4 unicorns proudly drawn on the front. But when the actual party starts, there's only one unicorn pony. That's it. No herd, no magical stampede. Just one. It's not the first time this happens either. Across several birthday episodes, we're promised more than we get. So what happened to the others? Were they booked at another kid's party? Did Stripe cheap out on the booking? Or is it some deep metaphor for lost childhood magic? Whatever the reason, someone definitely invited 4 unicorns, and 3 of them never showed up. Buddy's face paint gets weird. In the episode Curry Quest, there's a moment during the fair that seems normal at first. Mackenzie's mom is painting Buddy's face, which isn't surprising since she's often the go-to face painter at events. But when you pause the scene and really look, something strange pops out. The design isn't just a regular lizard. It's drawn in a way that makes Buddy's real tongue look like it belongs to the lizard. His own tongue becomes part of the art. Whether it was meant to be creepy, clever, or both, this tiny visual joke is easy to miss. Once you see it though, it's impossible to unsee. That lizard looks a little too real. Jasper's best mate mysteriously vanishes. In one episode, we see Jasper smiling in a class photo beside his best friend, a little Rottweiler who's clearly important to him. They're even placed close together in Bingo's class picture, which makes it obvious they're close buddies. But when Jasper's birthday rolls around, something feels off. His best friend doesn't show up. There's no sign of him anywhere, no background appearance, no mention, nothing. For a birthday party full of classmates, that absence feels too specific to ignore. Did something happen between them? Did the Rottweiler pup move away? Or did the invite mysteriously get lost in the mail? Whatever the reason, this missing guest leaves behind more questions than answers. Bluey and Mackenzie might be more than friends. During the ending of The Creek, while Bandit chats with Bingo, something quietly plays out in the background. Bluey and Mackenzie are still full of energy, running around together until they tumble onto the ground in a way that feels a little different. It's playful, but there's a spark that hints at something else. Earlier in the episode, Mackenzie talks about jumping from sheep to sheep, a nod to his herding instincts as a border collie. Maybe this connection runs deeper than just shared playtime. Was this moment just two pups goofing around, or a blink and you'll miss it preview of future puppy love? Either way, that little fall might have meant a lot more than it looked. The Queen is alive and barking in Bluey. In the market episode, Bluey gets a $5 note to spend. But take a closer look at the bill itself. Right in the center, there's a royal-looking corgi with all the elegance of someone who rules a country. This isn't just a random design. It's clearly a nod to Queen Elizabeth, who famously adored corgis and had a whole pack of them at Buckingham Palace. In Bluey's world, where dogs are the people, this makes perfect sense. Instead of being the Queen of England, she's the Queen of the dogs, printed right onto the currency. It's clever, it's subtle, and it raises one very big question. Is royalty still ruling, but in dog form? The flickering light may have said too much. In the episode Fancy Restaurant, Bandit and Chilli try to enjoy a romantic dinner at home while the kids play waiter. Everything seems sweet and silly, until the camera lingers for a second too long. Behind them, a lamp flickers and fades out completely. It's a small moment, easy to miss, but it doesn't feel random. Could it just be a worn-out bulb? Sure, but knowing how carefully Bluey is made, it might be more than that. Maybe it's a quiet sign that something deeper is breaking. The spark between them, perhaps? A subtle nod to how hard it is to keep romance alive with kids around? Either way, that light gave up first. Bandit's office feels like a hidden travel diary. Bandit's home office isn't just messy. It's basically a museum. Look closely and you'll find artifacts that seem way too exotic for a local dad. There's a tribal mask from Africa, a samurai sword that screams Japan, and even a statue that looks like it came from Polynesia. Either he's ordering random decor online, or Bandit's been on some serious adventures. For someone with a regular family life, his collection tells a different story. Maybe he's been places the show hasn't shown us yet. Or maybe the creators are hiding a whole other side of him, one that involves treasure maps, cursed relics, and near-death escapes. Honestly, he might be the calmest world explorer ever. Long Dog was sliced and strung like laundry. In the episode Phones, there's something odd hanging behind Grandpa Mort in the healer's living room. If you pause at the right moment, you'll spot it. A drawing of Long Dog, but not the usual version. This time, it's been split into 3 separate pieces and clipped across a tiny clothesline like paper laundry. It's a strange way to hide the show's most famous Easter egg. Why divide it like that? Was it just for fun? Or could it mean something deeper? Maybe Long Dog got caught in the chaos of family life. Or maybe this is what happens when even background toys can't handle the stress of being in 150 episodes straight. Bluey goes full Forrest Gump without warning. During the Chaos in the Pirates episode, something unexpected happens. As the imaginary storm gets wilder, Bluey climbs to the top of the ship, spreads her arms, and yells into the wind like a proper action hero. But this isn't just kid play, it's a straight-up parody of Forrest Gump. She's copying Lieutenant Dan during his famous "Is that all you got?" scene. The pose, the yelling, even the timing, all match perfectly. It's a blink and you miss it reference buried inside a children's game. Maybe the animators were just having fun. Or maybe Bluey secretly binge watches 90s dramas. Either way, it's one of the strangest and smartest nods hidden in the whole series. The Healer house may be a family heirloom. The Healer's home might seem like just another cozy cartoon house, but a few background details hint at a deeper history. Near the front door, there's a framed Victoria Cross medal, an award so rare and important that only true war heroes receive it. We also see old photos of Grandpa Bob in uniform and pictures of young Chilli that look like they were taken in the same house. It's possible the home once belonged to Chilli's parents and was passed down to her after she and Bandit got married. If that's true, the house isn't just a setting. It's a living memory of family, legacy, and maybe a few secrets still tucked in the attic. Has a secret identity. In the episode, Granny Pug, there's a quick scene where a grumpy old lady pulls out a stack of green bills to negotiate with Muffin. At first glance, it just looks like cartoon money, but look again. The character on the $100 note is clearly a dog version of someone important. Based on the design and color, it matches the real-life Australian $100 bill, which features Sir John Monash, a respected World War I general. That means the show didn't just invent currency, they recreated it with a canine twist. It's a blink and you miss it tribute to history, quietly slipped into a moment of pure chaos involving fake grannies and Muffin's unstoppable ego. Pom Pom's party may reveal a familiar hand. In one of the birthday invitations shown during Pass the Parcel, there's a moment that seems easy to skip. Pom Pom is getting her face painted, and the design is a bright butterfly. But that's not the strange part. What really stands out is the hand holding the brush. It doesn't belong to a dog. It looks completely human, which is already strange enough in a dog-run world. But if we ignore that for a second, the hand's presence might actually be a clue. It closely resembles the hand seen painting Buddy's face in Curry Quest. That suggests one thing. Mackenzie's mom might secretly be Brisbane's top face painting artist. Quiet, skilled, and slightly suspicious. Snickers Hat quietly wears the flag. Snickers might be the slowest pup in class, but his hat is doing some fast talking. The green and yellow cap he wears isn't just a cute fashion choice, it's packed with Australian pride. Those colors match the national sports teams and are directly linked to the golden wattle, or acacia, which is the country's official floral emblem. Even the cap's little design patterns seem to echo the plant's leaves. It's a quiet but clever way of blending patriotism into a kid's wardrobe. Whether Snickers picked it himself or someone else dressed him up, he's walking around with a tiny tribute to Australia on his head, and most viewers probably missed it completely. Bandit's medal might not belong to Grandpa Bob. Inside Bandit's office, surrounded by odd treasures and ancient bones, there's one item that doesn't seem to match the rest, a military-style medallion displayed proudly near his desk. At first, you might assume it belonged to Grandpa Bob, the known war hero in the family, but there's already a separate Victoria Cross on display near the front door. So why does Bandit have his own medal? Could it be that before digging up fossils and wrestling kids, he served in the military himself? The show never confirms it, but that quiet medal tucked among the chaos might be more than decoration. It could be proof that Bandit's past includes more than just archaeology and dad jokes. Chilli might not be done having puppies. In one episode, Bandit casually jokes that Chilli won't let him get a vasectomy. It's played for laughs, like most things in Bluey, but that line might be hiding something bigger. Could Chilli still be thinking about a third baby? The idea isn't random. Early concept art for the show actually showed her pregnant, and we already know there's deep emotional weight behind the loss of their first pup. Maybe the family originally planned to be 5, not 4. The show never confirms anything, but that offhand joke feels a little too specific. Maybe it's not a joke at all. Maybe it's a quiet hint that the healer's story isn't finished just yet. Lightning McQueen might be living in Bluey's toy box. Across multiple episodes of Bluey, there's a toy car that keeps showing up in the background. It's small, red, and has those familiar windshield eyes that make it instantly recognizable. At first glance, it looks like Lightning McQueen from Cars, and maybe that's exactly what it's meant to be. But here's where it gets weird. The toy isn't labeled, and it's slightly altered with canine features, like ears and a tiny tail. So is it just a fun Easter egg from Disney's other big franchise? Or is this a version of Lightning that exists inside Bluey's toy universe? If so, then someone in the Healer house is secretly racing around with a dog-themed race car legend. That's it for now. But clearly, Bluey has way more layers than it lets on. Are these just clever jokes, or do they reveal something darker about the Healer family? Comment below and follow for even more hidden gems. Somewhere on an old hard drive lives a version of Bluey so weird, it makes you question if the Healer family was ever meant for TV. 1. Rusty was originally named Mackenzie. One of the weirdest mix-ups in Bluey's early days involves Rusty and Mackenzie. In the 2016 pilot, Bluey sees her friend at the park and happily calls out, "Mackenzie!" But the dog who turns around isn't a border collie. It's a red Kelpie. That's right. The dog we now know as Rusty was originally called Mackenzie. The names hadn't been locked in yet, so things got messy. It's like someone picked names out of a hat and forgot to tell the animators. Maybe Rusty lost his original name in a trade deal, or maybe Mackenzie just stole it back. Either way, something doesn't add up. 2. Mackenzie's entire appearance was different. Mackenzie, as we know him now, didn't always look the way he does. In the pilot, his design was all over the place. His floppy ear was on the wrong side, both front paws were white instead of mismatched, and even his overall coloring looked off. It's like the animators were still figuring out if he was a dog or a prototype stuffed animal. Watching it feels like spotting a bootleg version of Mackenzie from some alternate universe. You almost expect him to glitch or speak backwards. It's clear he was still under construction. Half Mackenzie, half mystery, and fully unready for prime time. 3. Rusty was supposed to be the star, not Bluey. Before Bluey took over the world, she wasn't even the main character. The original star was a red Kelpie named Mackenzie, who later became Rusty. Creator Joe Brum had based the show on his own childhood dog, and the series was supposed to follow him. But somewhere along the way, the blue pup we now adore stepped in and stole the spotlight. Was it a creative decision? Or did Bluey stage a quiet takeover off-screen? Either way, poor Rusty was demoted from lead role to sidekick. One minute you're the hero, the next you're tagging along with the dog who replaced you. 4th pilot opening used a completely different song. The first version of Bluey's opening didn't sound anything like the cheerful theme we know today. Instead of the bouncy tune written for the show, the pilot used a rock song called Pinball Les by the band Custard. That band just happens to include Bluey's future dad. Well, the guy who voices him. The whole thing felt like an indie music video, not a kid's cartoon. Imagine Bluey dancing to garage rock while shaking her hips in front of a purple screen. It wasn't bad, just completely off-brand. If anything, it felt like the show was made for cool parents, not their kids. 5th, Bandit was originally negligent and glued to his phone. In the first pilot, Bandit wasn't the fun, playful dad we all know. He was distracted. Most of the time, he stared at his phone, barely looking up while Bluey played alone. He seemed tired, annoyed, and honestly just wanted to sit down and scroll. It gave off serious, I didn't sign up for this energy. That version of Bandit felt more like a bored babysitter than a loving dad. ABC wasn't thrilled with the idea of a parent ignoring their kid, so the team scrapped it. Luckily, the Bandit we got later traded screen time for swing time and became a legend. 6. Bluey's spot count and Mickey Mouse mark. Early Bluey had way more spots on her back. 6 in total. One of them was so big and round, fans swear it looked like Mickey Mouse's head. It's hard to unsee once you notice it. Was it a sneaky tribute to Disney? Or just an accidental mouse-shaped birthmark? Either way, it didn't last. In the final version, the design team cleaned things up and gave Bluey just 3 small spots, spaced evenly like a proper cartoon pup. The mysterious Mickey mark vanished without a word. Maybe Disney called, or maybe Bluey had a secret tattoo removal off-screen. We'll never know. 7. Bingo's design. Multiple spots, and aged-up muzzle. Pilot Bingo looked like she'd already been through a midlife crisis. Her muzzle was longer, her face more mature, and her tiny arms were covered in dark spots. She almost looked like a tired aunt, not a playful little sister. Compared to the sweet, round-faced Bingo we know today, this early version gave off strong, I've seen things energy. Maybe she aged from dealing with off-brand Bandit? Thankfully, the final design softened everything. Less spots, rounder face, one clean mark on her back. It made her look younger, cuter, and much more like the Bingo who spends half her time pretending to be a bug. 8. Bandit's face spot changed twice. Bandit's face went through an identity crisis before the show even began. In the first pilot, he didn't have his iconic mask at all. His eyebrows were pale, his face looked plain, and honestly, he gave off more accountant than mischievous dad. Then in the second version, he got just one spot on one side, like the animators couldn't decide if he was going undercover or not. It wasn't until the final design that he got the full half-face mask we all recognize. That's when Bandit finally looked like Bandit. With a name like his, you can't walk around without a decent disguise. 9. Chilli's age and face pattern changed. In the pilot, Chilli looked like she'd just graduated from doggy college. Her fur was brighter, her face was missing that familiar cheek patch, and something about her design felt unfinished. Next to Bandit, she actually looked younger, almost like his much younger cousin rather than his partner. It's possible the team hadn't decided yet if she was supposed to be the fun mom or the cool older sister, The final version fixed that fast. The added markings gave her maturity, warmth, and that mom who knows everything energy. Turns out, a simple cheek patch can change everything, including your entire age bracket. 10th, color changes in nose and fur. In the early pilot, Bluey's nose looked like a tiny traffic cone, sharp and oddly brownish purple. It stuck out like it belonged to a different dog. Bandit, on the other hand, had a belly the same pale blue as his fur, making him look like he was dipped in laundry detergent. Later, the team gave him a bold yellow belly, which somehow made him feel more huggable and less like a sad smurf. These may sound like small details, but they totally changed the character's vibe. One looked unfinished, the other looked overwashed. Thankfully, both ended up looking like proper cartoon royalty. 11. The healer house was white and sparse. The healer house in the pilot looked like it had just been moved into, or robbed. The walls were plain white, the furniture looked like it came from a discount catalog, and the windows had no charm at all. It felt less like a warm family home and more like a waiting room with a kitchen. There was no color, no clutter, and definitely no signs of a life filled with kids, games, and chaos. It's almost like the house hadn't met the healers yet. By the time the official series rolled out, the home finally had a soul and a proper coat of paint. 12th, living room picture frame. Featured an unknown character. In the pilot's living room, there's a photo hanging on the wall that never shows up again. It's not Bandit, not Stripe, not Grandpa Bob or Mort. It's a dog in glasses and a bow tie, looking way too important to be forgotten, yet completely erased from the series after that one shot. No one ever mentions him. He just sits in the background like a ghost relative the family doesn't talk about. Maybe he was a scrapped character, or maybe he saw something in that house he wasn't supposed to. Either way, he vanished, and nobody seems to ask why. 13th, toilet scene had a to-do list and purple walls. In the pilot, the healer family's bathroom looked suspiciously grown up. The walls were purple, the vibe was oddly serious, and there was even a to-do list taped to the wall. Not a silly chore chart, an actual adult list. Bills, car repairs, dentist. It was like Bandit had turned the bathroom into a personal stress chamber. Honestly, it felt more like a parent's panic corner than a kid's cartoon setting. In the final version, they swapped the purple for soft green and ditched the list completely. Because let's be real, no toddler wants to be reminded about taxes while brushing their teeth. 14. Chilli's MP3 player just wasn't there. In the official episode, Chilli heads out for her jog looking like every modern mom. MP3 player strapped to her arm, earbuds in, ready to conquer the sidewalk. But in the pilot, she walks out the door with nothing. No music, no gear, just pure silence. Either she hadn't discovered playlists yet, or the animators hadn't figured out joggers-like tunes. It's a tiny detail, but it changes everything. One version says healthy lifestyle, the other feels like she's jogging to escape her own thoughts. Honestly, without music, that run feels a lot darker. What was she running from? We may never know. 15. Chilli left the house in the opposite direction. In the pilot, Chilli walks out the door going right. In the official episode, she exits to the left. It's a small flip, but not random. The animators switched directions just to show the better side of her face, the one with the signature patch. That tiny detail changed the layout of the entire scene. Doors, furniture, background, flipped like a mirror just for a cheek mark. It sounds dramatic, but in animation, face patches are sacred. Without it, Chilli looked oddly plain, like she was missing a feature. So they turned the whole house around just to make her more Chilli. 16. Eye lag glitch on Rusty and Mackenzie. In the 2016 pilot, there's a blink and you'll miss it moment that's honestly hard to unsee once you catch it. Rusty and Mackenzie jump with excitement, but their eyes don't go with them. For a second, their bodies are mid-air, while their eyeballs stay behind like they're glued to the background. It's a clear animation bug, but it feels strangely haunting, like their souls forgot to catch up. Was it a mistake? Or were their spirits trying to leave their pilot version bodies? Either way, the animators must have noticed because that floating eye horror show never made it to the final cut, thankfully. 17. Mackenzie's hands disappear into the clouds. In one scene from the pilot, Mackenzie jumps into the air, super excited, full of energy. But then his hands vanish. Just like that, gone. Not because of magic, but because someone animated white paws against a white, cloud-filled sky. They didn't blend. They disappeared. For a moment, Mackenzie looks like he's mid-jump with invisible hands, like some kind of weird floating ghost dog. It's a small mistake, but it's wild how creepy it looks if you pause at the right second. He's not flying, he's phasing out of reality. Maybe early Mackenzie had powers, or maybe someone just forgot to shade. 18. Bluey in a baby stroller? In the pilot, Bandit pushes Bluey to the park in a baby stroller. Yes, a stroller. Not a wagon, not a scooter. A full baby ride. Which is odd, considering Bluey is supposed to be 6 years old. She walks, runs, climbs trees. But, in this early version, she's basically toddler-sized. Either the creators hadn't figured out her age yet, or Bandit was just too lazy to let her walk. Honestly, it makes you wonder if she was originally meant to be a Peppa Pig-style preschooler. Thankfully, they aged her up later. The Bluey we know wouldn't be caught dead in a stroller. 19th, swing scene was far more intense. In the pilot's park scene, Bandit doesn't just give Bluey a gentle push on the swing, he launches her like he's trying to break the sound barrier. She goes so high, she loops all the way around the top bar, like a cartoon physics experiment gone wrong. It's played for laughs, but if you stop and think about it, that's one serious push. If this were real life, Bandit would be explaining to Chilli why their daughter is orbiting the Earth. The final version toned it way down, thankfully. Cartoon fun is great, but no one needs Bluey turning into a flying hazard. 20. Bingo's book-changed covers. In the original episode, Bingo holds a book with a plain orange cover. No title, no pictures, just orange. It looks more like a notebook or a secret journal than something a 4-year-old would read. But in the pilot, that same book becomes an iPad. It tells us what Bingo's learning, what she's curious about, maybe even what bedtime looks like in the healer house. The orange one? Total mystery. Either she was reading dog poetry or just pretending. The green version, at least, has a purpose. And molars. 21st. Dinner went from vegan to seafood. Dinner in the pilot looked like a veggie ad. Chilli was chopping carrots, and the whole meal seemed very plant-based. It gave off peaceful, health-conscious vibes, like the healers were one yoga mat away from a wellness retreat. But in the official episode, the menu changes completely. No more carrots. Now it's prawns. Big ones. Suddenly, the family goes from farmer's market to full seafood feast. It's a strange swap, and no one explains it. Maybe Bandit begged for protein. Maybe Chilli cracked under toddler pressure. Either way, the carrots vanished and shrimp took over. The meal got fancier and a lot fishier. 20-second bathroom accessories got swapped. There used to be an air freshener in the healer's bathroom. A little spray can sitting on the window like it had just finished fighting for its life. It said everything without saying anything. Bandit was clearly up to something powerful. But in the final version, that detail quietly vanished. The spray got replaced with a polite little roll of toilet paper. Clean, simple, and not at all suspicious. It feels like the show chose dignity over realism. Maybe they realized no kid wants to think about their favorite cartoon dad unleashing chaos behind a bathroom door. 23rd. Bingo's doll wasn't strawberry shortcake. Before Bingo had her cute little strawberry shortcake-style doll, she had a mystery mutt. In the pilot, the toy in her room wasn't pink, sweet, or even recognizable. It was just a small, plain dog. No real face, no flair, no personality. Honestly, it looked like a rejected plush from a garage sale. The kind of toy that watches you sleep and maybe whispers at night. The final version gave her a bright, cheerful doll that actually looks like something a kid would love. Because let's be real, Bingo's imagination is wild enough without a haunted-looking cuddle buddy. 24. Bluey and Bingo slept in separate rooms. Imagine Bluey without Bingo snoring 2 feet away. Weird, right? But in the pilot, that's exactly what we got. 2 totally separate bedrooms. One for Bluey, one for Bingo, like they were living in a quiet doggy sitcom with their own plot lines. It felt distant, even a little cold. No midnight giggles, no sisterly chaos, just silence. The final version fixed that fast. Putting them in the same room didn't just change the layout, it changed the heart of the show. Their closeness became core to everything. Separate rooms may have made sense on paper, but it definitely didn't work for Bluey's heart. We've just pulled back the curtain on a version of Bluey most fans never knew existed. Now it's your turn. Would you have watched the show if Bluey was still in a stroller? Drop your take in the comments and stick around. This rabbit hole only goes deeper.